Welcome to our training session. Today, we are going to talk about group settings and, how to create groups and hopefully clear up some confusion about the many settings that are on these groups. Okay, so we'll just go right in and just show you some new things also that have been added to groups. So typically you are going to create your groups in your AMS and add your roster in your AMS as well, and just wait for those groups to sync to the community. You can also create standalone groups where if you don't need that information in your AMS, or you are simply letting your members create groups for themselves. To create groups directly in the community, you go to your left menu and go to my groups or my group pages and create a group. And all this wording can vary depending on your customized menu. This will take you to create a group. To enable groups that you have created in your AMS, you go to admin and groups, list all, and you are going to get a list of all the groups that are in your AMS and also that have been created in the community. The bulk groups are already enabled, and the grayed out groups are turned off basically. And to turn them on, you would click on your group and click on update profile. And under the general tab, all the way to the bottom, you would set delete to no and allow finding to yes. If you set allow finding to yes, this will make the group show up in your group directory. So if you don't want people to be able to find it, you would leave that as allow finding no. We are going to try to quickly create a group and go through each of these settings. So you can take a look. So we'll create this group here in this community. And we'll start with the general tab. So a parent group is if you want this group to be a subgroup or a child group of an existing group. So for example, if I want this group to be under the open forum, I would enter that name of the open forum here, and this would become a subgroup. To create a normal group, we would just leave that blank. So we have the group name. And that can be obviously anything you want. A short name, that's for your email, the email, how it would appear in the email digest, basically. If you have a very long name for the group, for example, and you just want to have a shorter one in the group and the digest. Then in your description, I would just a short description. It will appear on the group homepage and also in the directory, just beside the group name. The vanity email can be whatever you want, and it can be used by your members to compose an email and send it to that, and it will post directly into the group. So like I said, it can be whatever you want, as long as the @ is your community URL. The background image would be basically what appears in this area in the group homepage. In group types, you usually would want to be user created if you're creating it in the community. Some of these are just, the way that they are handled by your different AMS. And also special handling. Usually you would want normal group. For most AMS, if you set it to open forum, it will automatically add all of your members from in good standing that have access to your community. delete, which I already explained earlier, you would set delete to no and allow finding to yes for this group to be enabled and show up in the group directory for members to find. Hide activities, you can set that to, it's no by default, but you can set it to yes if you do not want the activities of this group to be shown in the activity feed in the homepage. If this is maybe a private group, or you just don't want activities from this group to be seen by non-members or non-members of this group. So under access, it's basically settings for who has access to this group. You can set the emails to be daily, immediate, weekly, or no emails if for some reason you don't want emails. Group discussion approval, you can set it to have administrative approval and type anyone's name, or can be more than one person if you want any or every discussion that is posted to this group to be directly approved before it goes live. Teaser options are the titles of the discussion post. So you can set for public, that it doesn't actually mean the public, it would just mean everyone that has access to your community. Private, only approved members would be only the members of the group. And association members only would be only member type people or users in the community. So, you know, for some communities may have members and others can have, for example, student type or vendors, but for this would be members only. View options would be to, if you can see when you click the title, you obviously can now see the content. So that would be, you know, further reading the discussion, the actual discussion. So who is able to see that? Again, public, everyone in the community. Members are only the group members, and member type only members tab and leaders tab, who can see that. So let me open a group just so I can give you, you know, a visualization of these actual tabs. So who is able to see the different tabs here? So members, and if you have set up administrators specific to this group, then you will be able to show a leaders tab as well. And you can have that hidden or be the same as the members tab. Join options. So it can be, so anybody can come into the group and just say, okay, it will just be a button there that says join the group, and that will be it. They will be part of the group. Private, only approved members. Again, somebody, a super user or group admin would have to say, click a button and say they approve that person to be member of the group. Members only, again, that's from the different type of members that you may have in your community, which is, again, vendors or students or members. Association members only with approval. So again, they have to, somebody has to explicitly approve that person to join. And close, no one can join. Nobody will be able to click that button to request to join. Asset protection refers to email attachments. So who is able to see that? Anyone with the link, only the members of this group, or any valid member of the community. And for opportunities, the different opportunities is the mentorship, volunteer, and projects. So you can hide that tab for the group, or you can have anyone in the community view it. Again, only members in good standing, or only group members, or only members in good standing of the community. And these different tab renames, so you can change the names of the tabs from resources to libraries, or events to calendar, discussions to anything else that you want to change it to. Require an opt-in for emails. It's usually the default. So you would set it to yes if you want to send invitations to the roster of this group to explicitly accept to receive emails for this group. And then you can send invitations automatically for that. Who can send newsletters? That is usually super users only. You can allow group administrators if they are not super users, or any group member. So in this enhanced security option, only allows somebody to view the content of a discussion if they are logged in within an hour, 4 hours, 24 hours. And that is, for sensitive this information. The burn security feature will destroy a post, much like burn after reading. So you can set that here to be destroy immediately, or in 12 hours, 1 day, 1 week. And this explicit group access is for very sensitive groups, for example, like a board of directors that you don't want your super users to have access to. So super users usually can see, everything in the community. And if you set it to group members only, then only the people that are part of that group will be able to see the content and update the group. And under contributions, this is who can add and update different areas of the group. So who can add discussion post? Again, public is anyone in the community, members, only members of this group, or only group owners, that will be group administrators or super users. News updates, anyone in the group, only those with permission, or members of the group. Event updates, link updates. So if you have it, for private, only people with permission, when somebody comes to add, for example, an event, they would be met with an alert that says they don't have permission to add events or resources. Here you have the ability to disable the resources tab. For the poll updates, can be public, anyone in the group, can be hidden, only those with permission. Again, those are usually administrators or members of the group. And you can disable that poll tab here. Archive attachments as resources. So those email attachments go automatically into the resource tab. Who can apply to those opportunities, the volunteer mentorship opportunities? Anyone in the community, only group members, or only administrators. And you can allow anonymous posting in the feedback tab. And that is the feedback for the group, which is just a star rating, basically. And then you can rename that opportunity and resource tab as well. And okay, under content, you are able to import your a blog feed, for example, with an RSS feed, and then convert those blog posts into discussion posts automatically. So you are able to also post as someone else. And you can also bring in a calendar feed with the RSS feed. You can display your resources in alphabetical order by newest or oldest. And in this custom content area, you can add custom templates to the different areas in the homepage of this group. So for example, this would be the homepage top, the middle, and then the bottom would be under here. And same for the email top, middle, and bottom. And you can also create a custom invitation to opt in for emails. This learning package is more for events, for the events module. So under legacy, you would have your AMS information. If that group is coming in from your AMS, we usually, wouldn't touch that. And under social, you can add your Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube channels, and those will be displayed right in this area. You can also add your contact information, website, contact, email, phone number, and location. And the engagement areas are for those opportunity and volunteer and mentorship applications. And that is you usually add these filters in admin, and can also be brought in from your AMS, but won't go into that. In session, that is also for the conference app. So let's see, we can save what we have done. And we have a new group. So you are able to change your profile picture by simply clicking the pencil there and upload your new picture. To see the roster of this group, like I said, if it's a group that is coming from your AMS and you want to see the roster, on your left menu, you can go to Manage Group and Roster. If it's a group that is coming from your AMS, you want to edit the roster there, because even though you may make changes here, once it syncs up, it's going to go back to the way it is on your AMS. But here you're able to, if this is a standalone group, you can add people here. You can also download this spreadsheet and bulk upload people if you would like to, if you have, a big number of people to add. You can find people, just type their name here and find to see if they are in the group. You can also filter by people who are waiting to be accepted, who have requested. If you have your members or leaders, to do that, you will, to make somebody a leader of the community, you will go here, type under, and just change them to leader. to give them permissions, admin permissions, update. It will be, for example, for those contributions, who can add events, links, resources. If you have set to only people with permission, then you would, set that permission here. And read only, it's just, a regular member that only has permission to view. And on your roster options, you can download your full roster. You can opt everyone in to receive emails, opt everyone out, resend invitations to people who have not opted in yet, change emails for everyone to immediate, daily, or weekly, and resetting email defaults that would just reset everyone to daily. Okay. Does anybody have a question so far? Okay. Another thing I wanted to show you that it's pretty new. It's an admin organization and setup. A lot of you will probably not have this if your community hasn't been updated in a while. But you are able to bulk update some of these email defaults for all of the groups. So if you want all of your groups to receive individual email, immediate, that should say immediate, not individual, daily or weekly emails, then you would just check it here and all of your groups will be set to that. There is also documentation for all of these settings in our documentation area. I can also set this up and send you an email so you can have that. And yes, I know there is a lot of settings, so we have written them down and we try to keep it updated so you have that information there. And a question I get sometimes is, when should people create more groups? Well, first, think about how your community is structured, and if you have a lot of groups and not enough activity, then it's obviously a good idea to scale back. At launch of any community, we usually recommend to start with an open forum and maybe a couple groups based on the interests of members. And then, with time, if members are in need of more specialized support and content, then you can create those groups. Or if you're getting requests on different topics and you see that needs have risen, if you have different chapters or locations, then it may be a good idea to have groups or subgroups based on those regions. If there's special needs for certain people to communicate, like we certainly saw during the beginning of the pandemic, growing number of coronavirus groups. So people, had that one area to, go and ask questions. You can also create groups for advocacy or other social issues that your members may support. Or if you're planning a mentorship program, a group for vendors, for students. Your groups can also be topic or subject specific, for new chapters, committees, or based on member status. But always be on alert of what your members are asking. So again, does anybody have any questions? So we also, oh, sorry, go ahead. We also have a poll that I will probably email you from SingEU. If you have any topics or, topics of interest that you would like for us to talk about in our upcoming sessions.
Thanks for the overview. It's very good.
Thank you. Okay, well, if nobody has any questions, I will definitely email this recording to everyone, along with the poll and any other documentation we have.
Thank you.